Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Courier. And this is from director Dominic Cook and from writer Tom O'Connor. Cook has had some smaller experiences in terms of films that he's done in the past. And then Tom O'Connor as a writer is interesting because he wrote like the Hitman's Bodyguard and the sequel that's coming out. So this was a different change of pace here as we have this very old school, very classy kind of Cold War thriller about a British salesman who gets roped in by MI6 and the CIA to go in and act as a courier for a mole in the Russian government. And of course, at the center here, we have Benedict Cumberbatch as Greville, who is this English businessman who gets caught up in this. Benedict Cumberbatch is a very talented actor, and in this film, throwing a mustache, a very proper British gentleman, and you have very charming and very nuanced performance, because you get to see him do his thing as a businessman through most of this film, whining and dining and working up the powerful people of Moscow, and you get to see him at the ballet taking in Swan Lake, being emotionally moved by this performance. You get to see him out dancing with the people, including the man that he is currying for, played by Merab Nididze. And this character, this man who is based off of, he's trying to stop the Cuban Missile Crisis, trying to bring attention to the missiles that the Russians are bringing to Cuba right onto America's doorstep. And that's the crux of the story, is trying to stop that movement of those weapons and the potential of starting a nuclear war. And there's a lot of stakes in this film. And you have this man played by Cumberbatch who has this, he's utilizing this. He's backed in and into this situation. He is pressured into this situation by CIA agents, including Rachel Brosnahan, who does a really fine job in this film as well. And he has those moments where he's cracking, he's bubbling up with emotion. He snaps on his son, his wife, played by Jessie Buckley, amazingly, by the way, is suspecting him of having an affair, and there's a bit of lagging towards the center of the film because the beginning has a bit of a chipper kind of energy to it. The middle is trying to balance that middle ground where tension's building, but then Cook delivers a really impactful third act here. Cumberbatch dwindling down in prison and looking malnourished and thin and shaken. They shave off his mustache and his hair, and then, he looks like an alien. But you have these big emotional moments, him cracking under their pressure, but most of the time keeping that, English stiff upper lip. And then there's an amazing scene towards the end of this film where Buckley really shines in her role, along with Cumberbatch. You can feel the love between them, the chemistry, and they're really obviously they're the heart of the story. You are pushing because you care about him and his wife. And Nididze, who plays this Russian, has some very important moments with his family and a very sad and uncomfortable and emotionally devastating sequence with his own family at one point during the film. And the story is very much like you expect where this is going throughout the film, and you've seen spy thrillers like this before and the espionage, but the energy and the crispness that Sean Bobbitt, the cinematographer, brings, and with Cook as director, this has a great look to it, great camera work, really intriguing framing that lays this film up above some other films that might feel like they just look like a drab period piece. This feels like it pops a little bit. And you have the music as well that's really effective between the use of classical music and Abel Korzeniowski's score really elevates it as well. Technically, this is a really well put together, very classy film, and the Courier really delivers on this dramatic story. And if you're a big fan of these genres, you're going to love this. That's going to pull you in. For the rest of us, those performances really elevate things. And in the end, I think The Courier is a really well-made, above average spy espionage thriller that has great trappings of period pieces and very strong performances, and right at the center with Benedict Cumberbatch. But those are my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.